So this is going to be my final project report on the AI adoption and Impact Explorer. My goal was to build an interactive visualization that lets people explore how AI adoption, AI-driven revenue, job loss, trust, and regulation vary across countries, industries, and years, and make it explorable enough that someone can answer their own questions without reading the raw CSV. So what I'll do is I'll jump into the Viz Hub here just to show y'all what we got. And as you can see, I went ahead and let me just adjust this, go into this one right here. What we did was we took this raw data here, which was, was just a lot of noise, and we built this really amazing visualization, which allows me again to select the years, modify the X and Y axis points with details like adoption rate, generated content volume, human collaboration against like consumer trust in AI. And then from there, I could select the different industries, and you can see how things are highlighted. And then down here, you can see the market share of AI companies, percentages based on the size of the bubbles. So depending on the size of the bubble, it translates into a market share of the AI companies. This was also done on the from a trend standpoint from different years, and you could actually see based on different countries. So I could go to Canada, I could go to South Korea, I could look at the USA, and you can see the different industries, how the trend lines, how things have changed over time, which is pretty cool stuff. So this, I have to say, was an amazing project because I am in the PhD program, and I'm actually writing a dissertation right now on the how AI affects the workforce, human capital workforce, the displacement of human capital. So building this model not only taught me a lot in this class from a visualization standpoint. It's a model to help me actually finish my dissertation. So let's just go through this real quickly. So the background data was really was based on it was synthetic rich. It was a data set CSV. I pulled it in. Columns were country, year, industry, adoption rates, job loss due to AI, human revenue increases due to AI, human collaboration. It was really cool data. So, and my goal was to really answer some key questions, such as where are AI heavy industries going right now? Is more AI always good? How is this changing over time? Does regulation trust matter within AI? And can I focus on my industries? So I wanted to create a visualization on that. So some of the current features are a view switcher, which I showed you, that switches between the scatter and the trends. And then within the scatter view, there's a bunch of filters and the ability to plug data into the different axis rows, where I could look at all years or pick a single year. I could look at industry or pick multiple industries or pick one industry. And then I could plug that the data into those. You can actually see here, you could plug in what I'm looking at as far as the data against each one of the axis points, which is pretty neat. Again, highlighting was in there. You can see that here again, where we could highlight. And then top K, we're right here. I can see my size market for the different industries, and you can see the quadrants adjust, which is pretty neat. I thought that was pretty cool. My K values, I could go up to 20. So you can actually see them all in here, and I could add details in there, which is it's pretty neat. I really like how this turned out. So it kind of explains the visuals, like one circle per country, industry row. The industries have colors, quadrant overlays, and then I have some tooltips and stuff in here on how this works. So you can see the tooltips in here and down here. So the highlighting, I kind of explained that. Top K focus, I just explained that. And then let's go into this trends view. You can actually see that again, which I was explaining here. where you pick a mode, whether it's within country or within industry, and then you can actually see the year and AI adoption rates in here. So you can see AI adoption rates over time based on the country, and then one line per series. So I could actually see how things change over time within the gaming, manufacturing, and so on. I could turn these on and off. So in that case, I wanted to, if I want to just see gaming, I could see the gaming over time, the effects. So it was, again, pretty cool. So how this evolved. So I started with a basic scatter, column auto detection, year industry filters, and axis as percentages. And then I progressed to this quadrant model, which was a little cluttered, created some noise in the views. And then I switched back to a model where the quadrants will come in with the top K, adding trends, view lines within the charts. I created some legends. As you saw, I could just click on it, and it presents and removes. And then my final polishing was to group controls into logical rows, adding subtitles, made the scatter legend fully interactive. I changed the bubble sizes so it's less noise. And then the legend on the bubble sizes on the bottom, you can see that right here, right there. But that's pretty cool where you can see the legends. And then if I scroll over, I forgot to mention this, if I scroll over the bubbles, you can actually see the details pop up on the right side. So, which is pretty neat. Interesting takeaways. Some industries showed high adoption plus high job loss. Classic AI disruption quadrants. In the synthetic data, strict regulation doesn't completely kill adoption. You can actually still find high adoption rows even under strict. And then in trends view, when you pick a single country, industries don't all rise together. Some lag behind, which shows nicely in the slope of their lines. And then we all know how to run this thing. So overall, this was an amazing class. I think the professor gave us a lot of ability to be individual and to work on building these models based on our own creativity and how it could apply to solving problems in our own domains. This has been great because it really helps me with my dissertation, not just for visualizing data, but now I'm actually finding data that supports my dissertation. So overall, amazing class, amazing project. Thanks for all the feedback from the other students, and thank you so much for the professor, because this has definitely been my best class so far at this school. So thanks again. Hope to have you soon.